Hey guys, how are you? Listen, I hope you guys are doing okay. I'm just checking in. It's a lot going on. I know. It's a lot. It's a lot. Come on in. Come on in. It's fine. Listen, still early. Still fairly early. It's not too terribly late, but come on in. Just make yourself at home. Come on in. Come on in. And just make yourself at home and get comfortable. Like I said, just get comfortable. There is so much going on. And so for me, I just want to check on everybody. Welcome, welcome. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Listen, I won't bite you, I promise. Come on in. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're here. I hope everybody's doing well. Listen, I understand that there's a lot going on. So I'm not going to be on here long, but I thought I'd just check on everybody, make sure you guys are okay. Come on in. Share with me where you are, who you are, how far you are. I'm in Ohio, so I'm not very far, if you will. Hey, Dailies. I'm not very far, but to some of you, I might be miles and miles away, maybe on the other side of the world. I don't know, but come on in, come on in. I just wanted to say hello, everyone, and just let you guys know. Um, I'm just checking in on everybody. I know that it has been a while since I've kind of been online. I've been very hands on with a lot of clients. So um, it's been a different kind of season, if you will, for me. Usually I'm more online, I have more of an online presence. But just recently it's been more face to face. So it's been a lot different for me. But I've been spiritually led, to be honest with you, to be more visible because it's just a lot going on that's not very, I would say, just not very good right now. And so for me, I want to make sure to let you guys know that I know it's a lot. It's just politically, it's been a lot going on in homes and relationships, and parenting. It has been a season, to say the least. And usually in spring, this is usually the time where the weather's getting prettier, everything's usually a lot better. But right now, I'm noticing that people are really heavy with what they don't have. So I just wanted to tell you, listen, it's okay. Um, I want to bring some light to some things to kind of help you to realize that, you know, in this season, and we'll just use this season right now, where it's a lot of unrest. There's a lot of people being um, belligerent, nasty, not very kind. Even in families, I'm seeing a lot of stuff going on. But, and I get that, but make it your due diligence to be kind. You know, all around my home, I have messages everywhere. I have a house full of words, if I really want to be honest. Everywhere I look, it's a message to remind me the importance of certain things. And so, one of my very main things that I constantly make sure to remind myself is to practice kindness. Now, anytime I have certain words or certain messages to be seen all the time, there's a reason for it. Because when we are invested or around in different environments, we realize that even in our kindness, it may not necessarily be reciprocated back at that time. For instance, you might smile at someone, you may say hello, you may be like, "Hey, how are you today?" And there may be nothing coming back to you. And you might think, "Why am I doing this? This is just a waste of time. This is a waste of energy and effort." But that's not the case. See, we have to be mindful of allowing someone else's response to how we're being kind to make us feel like I shouldn't even bother. Practicing kindness, even if we're practicing kindness to someone that is not returning it back to us at that time, it does not mean that that kindness did not go out into the universe. I'm going to say that again. Even though the kindness may not be reciprocated back to you immediately from the person that you're kind to, it is still going to come back because it was placed into the universe. So, with that said, we must be mindful that we can only control us. We can only be in control of what we do, not how someone else responds to it, because they may not be having a good day. They may be having a lot going on that we don't know about. And we may be kind, we may even hold the door open for them. We turn around and they just slam the door in our face. That is what it is. Yes, you're going to be angry, you're going to be upset, but don't allow it, because you just don't know how much your kindness pays off in the long run. We don't think about it at the time because we're just thinking, it doesn't matter, but it does. I tell clients all the time, and this is just dealing with, when I do energy body work, I tell them all the time, you may not remember something that happened with your body. You might have nubbed your foot or scraped your knee or something happened. You may not remember, but your body keeps score. And when I say that, they kind of look at me like, what? I'm like, your body keeps score. You may forget, but your body doesn't. I'll do a whole body work session, and all of a sudden they'll be like, "Ooh, I meant to tell you, I had such and such and such happen." I'm like, "Oh, so that's where the soreness or the resistance came from. I was wondering why you were pulling back or feeling away." That is why it's important, why so many people get frustrated by things and they don't realize, like, "Oh, I forgot that happened." Yes, it happened, but again, this is why it happened. You didn't realize it, but yeah, it definitely takes a toll. This is why it's important. Practice kindness. When you're feeling overwhelmed, it happens because you are allowing for outside things to impact your inside practice of kindness. It takes practice. Any client of mine will tell you, I'm always constantly on them. Are you practicing self-love? Are you practicing soul studying? All of these questions I ask them because they know, I got to make sure I'm accountable. Yeah, coach, I'm making sure to practice. I'm making sure to practice. It's like, yes, because if we don't stay on top of it, all this unrest going on in the world will affect your home. See, I don't have all that madness and unrest and belligerent actions going on inside of here. But I can if I allow that stuff outside of my home to come in here. I have to be the head hunter over this. I have to be the overseer of what I allow to go on here. So that also applies to how I handle me internally. How do we practice? How do we make sure we don't fall victim to the actions of others and become a different person? Well, we do that by sitting back and realizing I can control the way I act. Yes, people are going to take me there. People are going to make me upset. I may even have a moment where I get road rage or whatever. But how can I redeem myself? How can I have a time of redemption? Well, what that takes is it takes for me to sit down and realize I got to put this practice in. So practicing, not only does it not make perfect, because it doesn't. That's a myth. We'll say practice makes perfect. No, practice doesn't make perfect. It doesn't matter how sweet and kind and nice you are. If someone crosses you, no matter how much you're practicing trying to be nice and kind, someone pushes you over the edge, your kindness might go out the window and the door at the same time. So it doesn't make perfect. That's not true. But what practice does do is it helps us to get more consistent with doing something kind rather than the opposite. So, prime example, when we get in the car and we have practiced for a long time to put our seatbelt on, over time, the seatbelt just gets put on automatic. It gets put on automatic. We don't even think about it. We just get in the car, we sit down, automatically we pull it and buckle up. It's not even a thought because it's taken a lot of practice. But before you got consistent with putting your seatbelt on, you had to consciously think about, okay, I got to make sure I put my seatbelt on. Because remember, people weren't doing a lot of putting on their seatbelt until there were consequences for not wearing it. They started giving tickets. Remember that? There was a big, huge ordeal. You don't wear your ticket, you're going to, what is it? You're going to buckle it up or get ticketed or whatever. It was like a motto or what they had going on because we were trying to, oh my God, I'll just avoid it. Then remember, there were cars that would automatically put the seatbelt, not buckle it in, but it would put the seatbelt to remind you to put it on. But now we get in cars, especially us old school. I'm in my 50s, so I've been around a while. But if you're older, you realize, oh God, it's not even it's not even a thought. I just put it on. I don't even think about it. Okay, yes, but it took you many years to get to that. That's the same thing with kindness. That's the same thing with self-love. That's the same thing with soul studying. All of that requires practice. We don't just wake up and say, oh, I love myself. That's not how this works. First of all, we have to know what self-love is. Then we have to know, how do I study my soul? All of that requires something. Practice. And like I said, it doesn't make it perfect. Just because I'm a coach and I'm coaching you and guiding you to it doesn't mean that I do it perfect every day. I might have a bad day myself. I might be overwhelmed with a lot, so I may not get to my soul studying to the degree I need to do it that particular day. But even when we fall short, we can't beat ourselves up. What we have to do is be like, okay, I didn't do so good today. So what I will do is I'll make sure to be a little more conscious of it tomorrow and make sure that I get that done. We have to learn how to be committed. There's a lot of people not committed to self-loving, not committed to soul studying. And so when they get in jams and they get in relationship tyranny, or they get in breakups, or their love affair is over and, oh my God, I'm a shambles. Well, yes, but you have to remember, have you been practicing working on you? Have you been doing the work? Have you practiced kindness in your love affair? Because some of these love affairs aren't very kind to each other. Let me tell you something. And not to get real personal, but I've actually been in an actual coaching session and a wife just went left on her husband. I'm talking about in the session. And I'm thinking, oh, okay. There's been a depletion of practicing kindness inside this relationship. Doesn't make it a right or wrong. It just makes it what it is. So now we have to I have to show now what's the code of conduct in relationships. But first, before I can get to that, let's study your soul and see how you even got to this. Overwhelm happens to all of us. A lot of people are in overwhelm with money being tight, gas prices spiked, politics and politics are all over the place. People are being nasty to each other, racial upset and all kinds of stuff going on. People beating each other up, just crazy stuff. However, how can we focus on our treatment of self loving? How do we treat ourselves and being kind to someone else? How do we do that? It takes practice. It's not going to be easy. Practicing kindness is not easy, but I've made it a point to try to be consistent daily, just kind. Can I be kind? Can I help someone? Is there something someone needs? How can I impact someone? Doesn't have to be something major. What can I do for you? How are you today? What's going on? Is there anything I need? Is there anything you need to talk about? Get off your chest? Anything? Sometimes just lending a hand, opening the door up for someone. Someone has a bag full of groceries. Can you open the door for them? I mean, just basic stuff. This is stuff we used to do back in the 70s. So I shouldn't have to really say this currently, but because atmospherically, energetically, and just worldwide, I'm seeing a lot of overwhelm. And when it gets to this point, people are losing patience, not just with someone, a stranger, but their kids. They're losing their patience with their grandkids. They're losing their patience with their lover, losing their patience with their family. And so now all this upset and discontent and anger is causing for so many people to lose sight on what matters. And so I just want to shed some light today to consider, how can I be kind? What can I do to change this? It could just be something small. Practicing kindness can be something small. It doesn't have to be something outlandish. Here's the other thing. Overwhelm means we're overstimulated by too much. When we have a overstimulation of things that we are getting impacted by that we can't control, that means we're losing control. Because you can't control it. So what you want to do is if something's overwhelming you, get off of it. Whatever it is, just get off of it. If it's a person, or if it's people, or if it's a group, or if it's a committee, or whatever it is, if it is overwhelming you, detach from it. Start placing yourself first rather than trying to compete with other people and making sure everybody else is good. Meantime, you are a mess. You have got to place yourself first. Self-loving requires for you to put yourself first before anyone else. And in doing so, that helps you to reconfigure things. It takes you out of the overwhelm of what you can't control. You can control you, though. You can make decisions that it's going to be more impactful for how you deal with certain things. We're always going to have something. If you don't have something, you're dead. Just that simple. There's always going to be something. I don't care if you're a minimalist or you have 1,800 properties. It doesn't matter what you got. There's always going to be something. So in dealing with that, understand I can't control this per se, but I can control my reaction to what's going on. And then when you have certain things happen that truly impacts you, not just your political party or your work or it's this is that, I'm talking about you personally. If it's not impacting you personally, put that stuff on a time frame where you will be willing to hear about it, deal with it, or whatever. You got to set boundaries. Because a lot of times we'll let stuff in we can't fix anyway. We can't do nothing about what they're doing here and doing there. We can't do anything about that. But what we can control is what goes on in here. This is my haven. So if my haven is a shambles, it's because of stuff I'm allowing. So I got to be more mindful. What do I let come in on that television? What do I let come on my phone? Not just anybody can call me. Those spam calls, oh, they get blocked automatic. You can't even get me to say hello. This is my phone. I pay for it. You're not calling me. And mail that comes in that has nothing to do with anything that I've requested or I have to, is a mandatory payment. Oh, that doesn't get opened. For what? You have to put your boundaries up. You have to make a conscious decision what you allow in and what you don't. Because your life will be a shambles at things you can't fix. And nobody cares. They don't. Nobody cares if you sleep at night. Nobody cares you toss and turn. Nobody cares that you jump off the handle. Nobody cares. You have to care about you because you are responsible for you. You are the one that has to deal with certain things that go on. So it comes a point where we can't allow certain things to even be heard. I don't let certain words be said around me. I'm even particular about that. Don't talk to me about that. I don't talk about religion or I don't talk about religion, nor do I talk about politics. I don't. Don't bring that over here to me. It's fine that you might be into it, but me, I don't have that energy. It's too much for me. I set my boundary. But of course, that comes with soul studying that I talked about earlier. You have to know what you are okay with. And then in that, you make certain decisions to what you will allow and won't. Not everybody can call my phone. Not everybody can come over here. Not everybody will be let in. Not everybody will I coach. I'm particular, for real. I have set a whole different set of boundaries and code of conducts that I won't accept. And in order to feel my peace, I'm big about it and I stick to it. So I'm saying to you, you want to do the same. You don't want to just allow just anyone and everyone to show up when they want to and say what they want. No, that's not okay. You got to let people know this I don't talk about. That place I don't go to. Those things I don't indulge in. And once you do that, you set the tone and you also set an example. Because someone might look at it and be like, hey, that's different. How'd you get to be so confident in doing that? Well, book me. Talk to me privately. I'll give them my number and they'll call me. Because they're trying to figure out how did you do that? Because it just seems like a lot of courage. No, it just, when you get to the point where you've had the overwhelm, you've had so many people take advantage of your kindness, thinking your kindness is weak, that at that point you have to set the tone and set the guidelines with what you will and what you won't tolerate. And now my haven, it really is my haven. I don't have to feel out of sorts about talking about subjects that I'm not comfortable with talking about. I just leave it alone. And then I'm very private with my private life. I don't share my private life with people. You know what I'm saying? You can't just let everybody in. And, oh yeah, I did this, we did that. You don't, you listen. There's certain things you have to keep private for you. Because when you start doing all that talking and you start doing all that sharing energetically, that impedes upon what you have going on. And not everybody's happy for you. Some people will do everything to destroy your happy. Destroy your home. I was reminded today. You remember that time you were working a job? I was doing everything by the book, taking care of my particular work and stuff. And I had a supervisor, man. She was combing through my emails like I was doing personal stuff on the job, but I was always mindful. Don't ever send no personal stuff out from your emails. But she was combing through it, scoping and scouting, trying to find me in a wrongdoing at my job. And she couldn't get it. She couldn't get it. So she would try to do all these little, little nitpicky things. And I'm like, what is this? Where's this coming from? So again, you cannot, sometimes it's just who you are. It's not what you're doing. It's not if you're doing something wrong. It could just be someone doesn't like you, or someone doesn't like that you like you. And that's a whole different story. People like those that don't like themselves. They love seeing people miserable. Oh, you have depression? Oh my goodness, really? Not all compassion is authentic compassion. Sometimes they're trying to see your weakness so they can take advantage of you. So again, these are certain things that's going on environmentally. And so I'm just here to share with you, there's ways around coming up with plans to protect your peace. You're feeling overwhelmed. Don't get too much about that. I go through with clients about breathing exercises. You breathe in for 4, you hold it, and then you exhale for 6. This very well helps, even in the moments where you feel overwhelmed. Breathing techniques help a lot. Meditation helps a lot. Warm showers help a lot. Taking your shoes and socks off and going into the grass and putting your feet in it and relaxing and meditating helps a lot. Get off that phone. Turn off that TV and the news. They will have you crazy about things you can't control. When you study you'll start realizing how much you can do certain things that you can control, which also helps you to build up how you can resolve things, how you can fix things that are within your control, within your realm, that you can handle. But a lot of times we get so overwhelmed with what other people are saying, and celebrities got this and this is going on, and oh my goodness, that stuff will have you crazy. Do you hear me? Crazy. So again, I'm out of here, guys. If you haven't already joined my Patreon, go over there. My Patreon is Carla Nicole. You'll find me over there. Listen, subscribe to the channel, share this video, and sit down amongst your group of friends. Just sit down and watch this again and again. And don't rush through it. Pause it if you have to and talk about it. Come up with ways to where you can come back and say, hey, you said this on the one live you had, and we as a group thought about it, and we came up with this, and this, and we are overwhelmed, and we didn't realize that we didn't have the proper boundaries up. What should we do? Ask me questions. That's what I'm here for. Do you need help? Reach out. That's what I'm here for. And this is one of the reasons why I'm doing these lives, so you know that I can be reached. You can call. Trust me. I've had people call me. I've had people text the number. It's 844-5-WISDOM. If you want to text that number, you can text it and say, hey, coach, I watched you live. I'm just kind of going through some overwhelm. Can you give me some guidance? Text me. We'll talk about it. There's ways around trying to come up with some resolves because, like I said, all this different stuff going on financially, then we got a lot of stuff going on emotionally, and we got a lot of racial stuff happening and all this stuff. We can change it just by practicing kindness with self first. Taking the time to love you first. Then soul studying. Study you. What is it that you want and you need first? And once you do those 3 things, we can make an impact. Because now we're not so quick to anger. we're more softer and more inviting to people to be kind to each other. I'm just saying. It can happen. It just takes a lot of work. But it also takes real practice and real commitment to you. Okay, guys, I've talked enough today. That's for sure. I'll be on again tomorrow on Facebook Live at 12. I'm doing this just for a couple of days so that you guys can reach me. So don't forget to share this, subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to turn on your notification bell so you'll get notified when I do go live. And I hope you guys have a good night, man. Just don't allow for the stress. Relax, all of that stuff. Like I gave you some clues on your mail, on your emails. Just if stuff is coming to you and it's really shaking you and causing you havoc and headache and all that, get rid of it. You have a right to be in peace. And if you can't fix it, why keep burdening yourself with that stuff? Get off of that TV that's not healthy. Listen to, my channel or other channels like mine that can encourage you and inspire you and give you great impacts, because we can make a difference if we stop listening to the drudgery and the headache and the meanness. You got to watch what you allow come in these ears audibly. You got to stop listening to stuff that's not healthy, because it mentally causes for mental breakdown. We break here with what we hear and see. What we allow in our soul and spirit affects this and this. You don't want that. Love on you for a change. Tell people, listen, I understand you want to share all of that, but I don't want to hear all of that. So please, I beg your pardon. I just don't want any parts of what you're talking about. And people will take offense at first, but then they'll learn to respect it, or they just are in a different frequency than you, and they'll end up just parting away from you. And if that's the energy they're on anyway, you don't need them. I'm just saying. I'm out of here, guys. Like I said, share this video, like and subscribe, comment, and I'm out of here. We'll see you tomorrow. It's your coach, Carla Nicole.